Hello YouTube, my name is RGS and welcome back, not welcome back, kind of welcome back, and welcome to another Super Smash Bros. Ultimate discussion. This episode, obviously like the beginning said and the title says, is about, well, can spirits become fighters? Well, there is a little debate going around the interwebs if being an Echo means that you aren't going to be a DLC fighter. I'm on the camp that says that means nothing. There's literally no reason to believe that it could be like that. And there's obviously the camp that says no, they can't. Why? Well, I've come across basically two facets of this fan base, let's put it that way, of this argument. One that argues that no, they can't, mostly because, you know, they don't want to get their hopes up, and I can agree with that. Don't get your hopes up over something. You want, let's say, Rex and Pyra in the game, and then they are not in, and then you convince yourself they're gonna be in the game. Spirits mean nothing, and then when DLC comes around, we have all 5 characters announced and revealed and out, and Rex and Pyra are not one of them. You got disappointed because you got your hopes up way too much because you thought it meant nothing. Then there's a side that has absolutely no reason to believe it outside of, but there are in the game, which is really dumb. In my opinion, it's a really dumb way to look at it. They are in the game is a bad omen or a bad argument. Now, here's the thing. I haven't looked on anything. Oh well, I'm lying. I've looked at 2 songs since the leaks happened from the game being sold in, I believe, Mexico. Right? It was in Mexico. That the game was, there were some stores broke street date, and to those stores, F off. For the people that bought it, good people, I would have done the exact same thing, but F off to any store that broke street date, to anything. You know, this is why companies don't trust people and why companies go after stuff. Like, you want to know why Nintendo goes after pirating websites and ROM websites? Here's your case. Here's why they do it. Because it's not just going to be old games, it's going to be new games as well. And, well, Smash is already being pirated and all that stuff. And the game is not even goddamn out. I paid for the game plus the DLC, and I cannot play the game, and I won't be playing the game until I get it on the 7th, and there's people already playing it. You wonder why they go after ROM websites and hacking sites and all that stuff. But that's not the point of this video. This video obviously is about the spirit situation. Now, not counting Echoes, we have confirmation of 5 characters coming as DLC plus Piranha Plant. The Piranha Plant is what makes me believe we're gonna be seeing more characters outside of the 5, and something else Nintendo has said. But to argue, to see the thing of spirits practically are what trophies used to be. If you remember correctly, back in the Smash 4 days, people said trophies cannot be DLC. So Mewtwo and Lucas are out. And I had an argument with a guy on my channel that led basically was that, and his entire argument revolved around their spirits. They're spirits. That's the only thing he said. They're spirits. They can't be in. And when I brought up Mewtwo and Lucas, he said they're different because they were fighters before. And I calmly said, they're not different. They're the same exact thing. They're the exact same thing. Trophies were what spirits are now, except less of them. I think. I haven't seen the leaks. Or, I guess not. Technically it is a leak. The game is not out, so. And then I brought up the fact that if spirits means a character cannot be DLC, then I guess Daisy's not a playable character, neither is the Wii Fit Trainer, because they do have spirits. Or, again, let's say the game comes out, and probably already is out there, if there is or not. Let's say the game comes out, and we have Piranha Plant as a spirit. When I asked this to the guy said, it changes nothing. It changes nothing, which, by the way, if there is a Piranha Plant spirit in the game, that completely debunks the theory that spirits cannot be DLC, because Piranha Plant's DLC, a spirit is DLC, it is a spirit, it's both, it works. But I don't think there's any correlation. The only thing I think, personally, that deconfirms a character from being in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is this one simple thing. Assist trophies. Assist trophies, in my opinion, are the only thing that deconfirms a character. Not costumes and not spirits. Costumes don't mean anything. They didn't mean anything with the Wii U one, because here's the thing. On the Wii U and the 3DS, Smash 4, the life for the game was always going to be short. The game came out in 2014, and we are right now in 2018. The game got 2 years of DLC, basically. Went into 2016, that was when the last DLC came out. But the game was made in 2014, came out November 2014. 4 years later, we have a brand new Smash game. Let's look in comparison to all the other games outside of the original Smash 64, which came out at the tailgate end of the N64's life cycle. Melee came out in 2001. Super Smash Bros. Brawl came out in 2008. That's 7 years, and then 7 other years until Super Smash Bros. No, 6 years between Smash Ultimate Brawl and 4. And now it's been 4 years. This, outside of the original, is the shortest amount of period of time a Super Smash Bros. Game has ever come out between releases. Not only that, Melee came out on the first year of the GameCube. And so it took roughly, it took 5 years. The GameCube had 5 years on the market. 5 years before we got Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And then Brawl came out in 2008 at the second year of the Wii, so technically speaking, the third year of the Wii, third year on the market, but second overall, and had at the very least 4 more years to the successor to that system coming out, because the Wii U came out in 2012. Though Smash 4 came out in 2014, second year of the Wii U, but with the next system being 2 years away. Because here's the thing, Super Smash Bros. U came out in November. The first piece of DLC, Mewtwo, came out in April 15th for the people that bought 3DS and Wii U, and the 30th, or close to the 30th, to everybody that didn't buy both games. And you want to know why I'm bringing all this up? Is because the Switch, or the NX, was confirmed to be in development in March 2015. So 3 months after Super Smash Bros. On the Wii U came out, which I'm going to take the Wii U date. I'm not going to bring up the 3DS release date because it was the last Smash game to come out, technically speaking, before the Switch was even known to be a thing. Was out for about 4 months before they told us there's a new system. Melee had 3 years, I think it was 3 years, without mentioning of the next home console. Brawl had over 40 years, 40 years, and 4 had 4 months. Even if you count the 3DS version, the 3DS version came out in September, so we add in 2 more months, 6 months, not even a year, half a year for the 3DS version. So what I'm trying to say here is that it was always going to have a very, very, very short period of time where Super Smash Bros. 4 was going to be relevant or played, or even before the next one was going to be in development. For crying out loud, between Melee and Brawl, Sakurai developed a little game called Kirby's Air Ride. Between Brawl and 4, he developed Kid Icarus Uprising. Between 4 and Ultimate, he made Ultimate. The game was always going to have a very short life cycle. The reason I bring up Super Smash Bros. 4 is for the simple reason that if we look into everything going around with Mii costumes were only a thing in Super Smash Bros. 4. 4 having a short life cycle and the Wii U having a short life cycle was meant that the characters that would be released as DLC could always feel like a waste as DLC and not a hype new announcement in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Like, look at how many people got hyped for King K. Rool, for Ridley, for Simon Belmont. K. Rool and Inklings are the only brand new fight. King K. Rool, Inklings, and Chrom are the only brand new Ultimate fighters that had Mii costumes in 4. Look at the hype for all of these 3 characters. Even Chrom, which was another sword character and another Fire Emblem character, got immense amount of hype because people liked him, people wanted him, and that would feel like they were removing, like people were gonna get hype, but people were most likely gonna be like, yeah, they were hype, but then the next game was gonna lose something. With the Switch, what we're seeing is that Nintendo is investing a lot more in brand new IPs, and creating brand new characters. Rex and Pyra can easily be DLC because they're not gonna... The next game comes around, and Elma the same thing, the next game comes around, they're gonna be there, they're gonna be big characters, they are big characters. But the next game, assuming there's a next Smash Brothers, I think that after this, they just need to... Smash Brothers should become a platform. Ultimate should be the platform with, like, the next system comes out and Ultimate transfers to it and they keep adding characters. Because then, like Sakurai says, this is like the last time we're going to have the opportunity to do this. And by the end of Ultimate, we're going to have at the very least 80 playable characters. 80. I don't think we're going to get another game with 80 plus. And that's assuming we don't get more DLC, which I think we are, but that's beside the point. The only thing, in my opinion, that right now is screwing characters like Bandana Waddle Dee and Rex and Pyra are the requisites, assuming that we only get the five fighters from the Fighters Pass. These characters have a disadvantage because you need to be three things to be in the DLC. You need the character, obviously, you need songs, and you need a stage. Bandana Waddle Dee, technically speaking, is only the character because a stage and music already is there because he's from Kirby. The same thing can be said for Rex and Pyra. They can bring in a stage from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but music's already there, unless they only mean brand new songs. If they mean songs in general, then having already Xenoblade Chronicles 2 songs in the game kind of ruins, or Kirby songs kind of muddles their chances. And that's the other thing that I wanted to mention. A character, spirits don't... We need to remember when spirits were made and when characters, when the DLC was chosen and who was going to be DLC or who is going to be in a spirit. For example, Rex, as far as we know, is not a spirit. Pyra is. Same with Mythra. Rex, as of right now, is just a Mii costume. And the reason, for example, I believe that Rex and Pyra are going to be DLC for the simple fact of, yes, Pyra is a spirit, so is Mythra. I personally think, by the way, that Rex could... Before Ultimate, I would have said Rex with Pyra was going to be the character, but now I think it's going to be Rex with 3 blades, working like the Pokemon Trainer, but instead of being the Pokemon that change, like, it's the reverse of Pokemon Trainer, where Pokemon Trainer is behind the characters, or behind the Pokemon, giving them orders and telling them what to do because, you know, it's a Pokemon. It's going to be more like the Xenoblade games, where it's Rex giving, like, Rex is in the front and the blades are in the back. So when you switch out a blade, like you switch out a Pokemon, you switch from Squirrel to Ivysaur, Ivysaur comes out to the field. Ivysaur is the playable character. I think that in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, you play as Rex and you have, you know, 3 blades. And in the game, in Smash, I think it would be like you have Rex out, you swap out to a different blade. The blade in the back changes. Let's say you change from Pyra to Rock, for example, and in the front, Rex stays Rex. It's just now he has Rock's weapons. And I think because of Pokemon Trainer, this is a possibility, and I think it will be a really interesting thing to do. Before, I didn't think that we're going to bring transformation characters back, but now that we have them, I think that's what they can do with Rex, which would be a really interesting thing. But the thing that to me that has the whole possibilities is the DLC only being 5. Assuming it's 5 characters. Oh, the spirits. I was going to talk about spirits. How we have to look at it. Spirits can only mean a deconfirmation if DLC was planned and decided at the same time as the spirits. We know this not to be the case because of what Sakurai said, and this is very important. People like to say, oh, but Sakurai says this and that, and he changes his mind all the time. Sakurai doesn't change his mind on a game basis. He looks at every single game and goes game by game. He doesn't go like, you know, he never said, for example, Ridley is too big for Ultimate. He did say it for 4, but nothing about Ultimate. He didn't say, for example, that fighting game, for example, he never said fighting game characters could never be in Smash. That's a misconception. He said, for example, I believe, and I could be wrong, he said that he didn't see Pac-Man and Villager as fighters for Brawl. Same thing with the Miis. But obviously, as time went on and when the games came out, he went and looked at at them again. By that point in time, by Super Smash Bros. 4 time, the Miis had been in a bunch of games, so they would make sense as fighters and to fight. And the other character, Villager and Pac-Man, he could have just thought about it better and like, maybe in 2007, 2006, 2007, he could have looked at those characters and thought like, I can make a moveset around this. maybe in 2013, 2012, he was like, I can actually do it. Wait a minute. Let me see how I can do things here and there. And that's what was the change. But Sakurai said, that's what I was going to go with. Sakurai said in mid-November, the DLC has been decided. By the way, he said it in English. By the way, he didn't say it in Japanese. He specifically said it in English so that people in the West can shut the fuck up about it. He said it. The DLC is done. Nintendo, not done, chosen. Nintendo gave me a list, I chose it. So Nintendo gave Sakurai a list of characters for him to choose from, and then he made the DLC. This is a very important thing. The DLC was just now decided in the middle of November. So they're not being worked on. They don't even have models. Think about that. Mewtwo had already a model when it was announced. No DLC character has even a goddamn model. So we combined the two things. No model. Mid-November was decided. So after the Smash Ultimate, the final direct, and you could say maybe he was misquoted or misspeaking. If he was misspeaking, he could have at least given us a little hint of what the DLC was going to be, maybe with one character being shown, even if it was just the model of the character, like they did with Mewtwo. Actually, it would go well with the Rex thing. I think Rex is going to be eventually DLC, be it in the 5 or alone, mostly because he has a Mii costume that's not a part of the game, despite the fact that Mii costumes for Xenoblade Chronicles 2 characters exist in the game. And I do think, looking at everything, mid-November, Sakurai says, yeah, this is done. Nintendo gave me a list. He didn't go to Nintendo with the roster of characters that he wanted to put in and said, here's the list I want, now do you guys approve of it or not? No, Nintendo said, here's the list, you choose who 5 characters from there, and that's gonna be DLC. You see the difference here? You see the difference? In one, it's Sakurai that chooses, and the other, it's Nintendo that chose. With the one that Sakurai chose, you could argue that when Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was finalized, the roster was finalized, say, in January to April 2016, that maybe afterwards they were deciding on spirits and they're like, okay, let's choose 5 characters as DLC. And, oh, we choose this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. Oh, we have 5 characters plus Piranha Plant. So, the other characters that we can make it in, let's put them as spirits. That's the way, that way, it had to be, the roster for spirits and for DLC had to be chosen while the game was early development, because spirits was not a thing they just came up with. Or you have to say that they kept adding spirits and spirits and spirits, and then they decided, let's make DLC. Oh, but so the characters we already have here, they won't be DLC, or the DLC was chosen before spirits. And that doesn't work because of Sakurai's wordings. The reason I think a lot of characters are spirits, I don't think, for example, Springman. I don't think that he's a spirit or an assist trophy because Sakurai didn't know if he could make him, or would Nintendo want Springman to be DLC. He chose Springman to be an assist trophy and said, even if we get to do DLC, which he probably knew early on, Springman's not going to be in. But Rex and Pyre, for example, he didn't know when. He didn't know if they were going to be chosen by Nintendo to be a part of it, or if they were, he didn't want to put them as, so he's not knowing, he said, okay, I don't know, let's put them in the side and wait and see. Look at even the Rex costume. Rex costume is not in the game, he's paid DLC. You have to buy the 25 euro Fighter's Pass. That to me says he didn't know, at the time he created that Mii costume, he didn't know who to put in or who was going to be DLC. So to conclude this whole rambling 19 minutes of video, spirits, I think personally I think they mean nothing. They don't qualify a character or disqualify a character from being a spirit. Heck, I even said, if the character, let's say it's a spirit in the main in the story mode, they can literally just say, yeah, he got his body back. And even with an update, they could change that spirit from another spirit that like very similar to them. I'd say there's a Pyra in the main story. They can change to another blade that has fire. There's a lot of them. And change a little bit, tweak here and there. They don't even need to do that because fighters have spirits. That's another thing. Personally, I think we don't know who the DLC is. Don't believe any leaks you see, by the way, because there were leaks coming out from like... Well, here's the thing. There have been leaks saying that we're going to get Minecraft some type of Minecraft representation in Ultimate since like mid-September, and we are right now in December, nothing. And then they changed their tune to like, oh, it's gonna be DLC. And then Sakurai said, the DLC has just now been finalized. But anyway, my opinion, personally, is that they mean nothing. Spirits mean nothing. This is just a way for people, if you're keeping your expectations down, good for you. But if you're gonna go around videos arguing with people, dismissing their arguments, just because you say they don't matter, or because, oh, spirits, they're in the game, so no, it doesn't count. It's not gonna be in. Don't do it, please. Anyway, that's been the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been the Legend of the Owl. Link in the description for the 15-euro eShop giveaway for December. I'm recording this right before I contact the winner for November to see if he is okay with me mentioning his name in another video that I'll be posting about the giveaways. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I've been the Legend of the S. Tell me in the comment section, what do you think about spirits? Do you think they're going to be characters? Do you think they mean anything? Do you think they don't mean anything? And give reasons why. And who do you think is going to be in the DLC? But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I've been the Legend of the S. Join me tomorrow for a video regarding what I'm gonna rank like the 8 Super Smash Bros. Ultimate trailers, in my opinion, from the worst to the best, basically. And then we're gonna go on a week-long retrospective into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from announcement in March 2018 to the latest Nintendo Direct in November, even giving some thoughts on the overall roster. And oh my god, we are under a week before the official launch of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Anyway, I've been the Legend of the S. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.